With the NFL Draft starting Thursday in Philadelphia with Round 1 and covering Friday and Saturday, here is a comprehensive look at roster status, draft needs and draft options for the Detroit Lions. Running back on the roster, RB Ameer Abdullah, Theo Riddick, Zach Zenner, Dwayne Washington, Mike James, FB Mike Burton. Needs. The Lions are the worst rushing team in the NFL over the past 2 seasons, so there's no doubt they need help at the running back position. The question is, how much? Both Ameer Abdullah and Theo Riddick are returning from season-ending surgeries, though coach Jim Caldwell insisted at the Lions season ticket holder summit earlier this month the team will have a formidable running game if they stay healthy. Zach Zenner was productive in a limited role last year and Dwayne Washington showed promise in sporadic use. What the Lions really need is a feature back to take some pressure off Matthew Stafford, but their only chance to land the draft's top running back prospect, Leonard Fournette, is with a trade-up. More likely, the Lions grab a running back to add to their arsenal somewhere in the middle rounds. Running backs coach David Walker ran pro day workouts at Pitt, Toledo, Oklahoma and Wisconsin, among other places, so the Lions have certainly done their homework on a plethora of promising day 2 and 3 picks at the position. Top 3 RB prospects: 1 Leonard Fournette, LSU, 2 Christian McCaffrey, Stanford, 3 Dalvin Cook, Florida State. Players with Michigan ties: RB Devio Smith, Michigan, FB Prescott Line, Michigan State, Joe Buckeye, Central Michigan. Late round player who could interest the Lions: Wayne Gallman, Clemson. Draft dish: Fournette is a probable top -10 pick and could end up in the top 5 if some team believes he can have an Ezekiel Elliott-type impact as a rookie. McCaffrey, the son of former Denver Broncos receiver Ed McCaffrey, is built for today's NFL as a do-it-all back who excels rushing, receiving and in the return game. 2 other backs have first-round talent, but both Cook and Oklahoma's Joe Mixon have off-field issues, and in Cook's case, medical questions as well, that could cause them to drop. Mixon, who was caught on video punching a female student in the face hard enough to break her jaw, is completely off some teams' boards and doesn't seem like a player the Lions would take a chance on. While Fournette and maybe McCaffrey are the only elite prospects at the position, this is a strong running back group overall with a number of role-playing types who should have productive careers. Tennessee's Alvin Kamara is one of the best receiving backs in the draft. Oklahoma's Samaje Perine is a battering ram who once racked up 427 yards rushing in a game. Toledo's Kareem Hunt, Pitt's James Conner, South Florida's Marlon Mack and BYU's Jamal Williams are others who should find a home somewhere in the first 3 rounds and would be good fits in the Lions' current backfield. Wide receivers on the roster: Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Keshawn Martin, TJ Jones, Chase Billingsley, Jared Abbrederis, Ryan Spadola, Andrew Terzilli. Needs: Golden Tate and Marvin Jones combined for 146 catches last season. The other 6 receivers currently on the Lions roster had 6. Wide receiver might not be the Lions' biggest position of need, but considering how often they used 3 receiver sets in 2016, there's a very good chance they add someone through the draft. Tate has been highly productive in his 3 seasons with the Lions, logging at least 90 catches every year. But neither he nor Jones is a true number 1 receiver. Jones got off to a hot start last season, but his production faded over the final 12 games. At a minimum, the Lions need to add someone who can replace Aquan Boldin, 8 TDs, as a red zone target, and if that player can stretch the field as a deep threat or help out in the return game, all the better. Martin, for now, has the inside track on the return job, while Jones, Billingsley and Abbrederis all can play as slot receivers. Top 3 WR prospects: 1 Corey Davis, Western Michigan; 2 Mike Williams, Clemson; 3 John Ross, Washington. Other players with Michigan ties: Amara Darber, Michigan; Jehu Chesso, Michigan; R.J. Shelto, Michigan State. Late round player who could interest the Lions: Jamari Staples, Louisville. Draft Dish: Davis, Williams and Ross are the clear top 3 receivers in this class, though none is the type of rare talent that usually goes in the top 10. Davis had 3 straight 1,400-yard receiving seasons at Western Michigan, but he underwent ankle surgery in January and hasn't been able to work out for teams in the build-up to the draft. He's still a first-round pick, though his injury could cost him a few draft spots. Williams was great on contested catches throughout his career, but he doesn't have the top-end speed that teams like. Ross, meanwhile, blazed a 4.22-second 40-yard dash at the combine, but has a history of knee and shoulder injuries and a slender frame that concern teams. The Lions spent a good deal of time vetting mid-round receivers over the last month. They brought at least 5 receivers in for top-30 visits, including Penn State's Chris Godwin, Baylor's K.D. Cannon and Ole Miss' Damarie A. Strickfellow, and they worked out a number of other second-tier pass catchers like Samford's Carl Hamilton and Arkansas' Drew Morgan. Both Darber and Chesso project as mid-round picks, and North Carolina's Mac Hollis is another interesting name to watch. Hollis, 6'4", is one of the best special teams players at any position in the draft. Tight ends on the roster: Eric Ebro, Darren Fells, Cole Wick, Carrie Lee, Keard Bakma. Needs: the Lions have until May 2 to pick up the 5th-year option on Eric Ebro's rookie contract, and General Manager Bob Quinn said last Thursday that what the team does in the draft could determine Ebro's future in Detroit. Ebro caught a career-high 61 passes for 711 yards last year and has shown steady improvement in his 3 NFL seasons. Still, the Lions want a more complete option at tight end. They signed Darren Fells, one of the better blocking tight ends in the NFL, to a 1-year deal in free agency, and have a couple other one-dimensional players next on the depth chart. Assuming the Lions plan to keep Ebro beyond 2017, and they should, they need to add a capable blocker and good intermediate receiver in the draft. Ashlard's Adam Shahi and Michigan's Jake Butt are potential day 2 choices who fit that bill and can play all 3 downs. If the Lions go in another direction, there are no shortage of move types who can stretch the field in the draft.